Good morning, students. We are talking about state government under our civics. Under state government, we have three wings: executive, legislature, and judiciary. Under executive, we talk about governor. Under governor is the constitutional head of the state executive. He shall be appointed by the president. The term of office is 5 years. Regarding the qualification of a governor, Article 157 and Article 158 describes about the qualification for the post of governor. Under that, he should be a citizen of India and must have completed 35 years of age. He should not be the member of parliament and he should not hold any other profitable occupation. These are the qualifications needed. Regarding the powers and functions of the governor, executive powers, legislative powers, financial powers, judicial powers, discretionary powers, emergency powers. These are the powers vested with the governor. And we talked about privileges of the governor under Article 361. Now we'll move into the Chief Minister. Regarding the Chief Minister is the real executive authority. That is, the governor is the head of the state, while chief minister is the head of the government. Chief minister is the head of the government. After the election is over, among the majorities, those who want majority seats, they will select one as a chief minister. And that chief minister is appointed by the governor of the state. The term of office of the chief minister is 5 years. But he may remain as the chief minister as long as he enjoys the support of the majority of the members of the legislative assembly. The chief minister, as the head of the government, he want to do his functions as a chief minister relating to the council of minister and relating to the governor and relating to the state legislature. So these are the powers and functions of the chief minister. We'll see one by one. First one, relating to the council of ministers. The chief minister recommends the person who can be appointed as ministers by governor. He allocates the portfolios among the ministers. That is, the chief minister will be appointed by the governor. After that, the chief minister will select some of the elected members as ministers, and that ministers will be appointed by the governor. Under that minister, the chief minister want to allocate the portfolios, that is, different departments will be allotted to the ministers. He shuffles and reshuffles his ministry. Shuffling means he can change, the chief minister can change the ministry for each minister. He presides over the meetings of the Council of Ministers and influence its decisions. So, the Chief Minister want to preside over certain meetings under the Council of Ministers. The Chief Minister, he want to guide, directs, control and coordinate the activities of all the ministers. So here the Council of Ministers, they have the full responsibility under the Chief Minister. So he want to guide, direct, control and coordinate all activities of the ministers. These are the functions relating to the Council of Ministers. The next one, relating to the governor. Chief Minister advises the governor in relation to the appointment of the following officials, that is, Advocate General of the State, State Election Commissioner, Chairman and members of State Public Service Commission, Chairman and members of State Planning Commission, Chairman and members of State Finance Commission. Actually, these persons, these higher officials were appointed by the governor but selected by the chief minister. So, the chief minister, he can render his advice to the governor for the appointment of these high officials for the state. relating to state legislature. The Chief Minister advises the Governor with regard to the summoning and proroguing the session of the state legislature. That is, when to start the assembly, the Chief Minister advises the Governor. Then the Chief Minister announces the government policies on the floor of the House. That is, Chief Minister alone want to introduce any new policies in the assembly. He can introduce the bills in the legislative assembly and he can recommend it for the dissolution of the assembly to the governor anytime. Suppose if the chief minister is not willing to continue his party in the assembly, he can dissolve that assembly. So he can recommend that to the governor. These are the functions of chief minister relating to state legislature. So far we talk about the functions of chief minister under the council of ministers, relating to the governor and relating to state legislature. So these are the powers and functions of chief minister. The next topic is Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers are collectively responsible to the state legislature. That is, the ministers will have the responsibility to control the state assembly as well as the people. So they are collectively responsible to the state legislature. All the members of the Council of Ministers must be the members of the state legislature. That is, they must be directly elected by the people. Article 163 provides for a council of ministers to aid and advise the governor. Article 163. Same way, Article 163(1) shall be a council of ministers with the chief minister at the head to aid and advise the governor in the exercise of his function. That is, Article 163 relates council of ministers and governor. 163(1) relates chief minister and council of ministers. Then we have certain other provisions relating to ministers. Article 164(1) holds the chief minister shall be appointed by the governor. 164(1). And then Article 164(1)(a) states that total number of ministers, including the chief minister in the council of ministers in the state, shall not exceed 15% of the total number of members of the legislative assembly. That is Article 164(1)(a). That is, the council of ministers, including the chief minister, shall not be exceed 15% of the total number of members. See, for example, in Tamil Nadu, according to the strength of legislative assembly, we have 234 members. The number of ministers may be up to 36. That is 15% of 234. 15% of 234 may be 36. So in Tamil Nadu, we have 36 ministers. That is the provision under Article 164(1)(a). Now we'll see what are the functions and powers of Council of Ministers. That is, the Council of Ministers formulates and decides and the policies of the state and implements them effectively. So they will formulate any policy for the welfare of the people and they want to implement that effectively. It decides the legislative programs of the Legislative Assembly and sponsors all important bills. That is, all the bills are decided by the Council of Ministers. It controls the financial policy and decides the tax structure for the public welfare of the state. Regarding the financial policy, the Council of Ministers will decide the tax structure for the people. It makes the important appointments of the head of departments. That is, head of departments like education department, health department, like that. The high officials were appointed by the Council of Ministers. Then Council of Ministers discusses and takes efforts on the dispute with other states. That is, whenever a problem arises between one state to another, the Council of Ministers will discuss about that and they will take efforts. Then it frames the proposal for incurring expenditure out of state reserves. That is, all money matters, that is, expenditures, all proposed by the Council of Ministers. Now we'll move on into the next topic, state legislature. The constitution provides a legislature for every state. Most of the states have only unicameral legislature, that is legislative assembly alone, that is unicameral, there is only one house. Some state has bicameral legislatures. Here bi means two. Bicameral, they have two legislature assemblies, that is in the states of Bihar, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Again I am telling, Bihar, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, they have bicameral legislature. Whereas in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and the remaining other states of our India, we have unicameral system, that is we have only one house. The lower house, that is legislative assembly, represents the people of the state. The upper house, the legislative council, represents special interests like teachers, graduates and local governments under indirect election. So legislative assembly consists of people directly elected by the people, that is members directly elected by the people. Whereas the upper house, that is legislative council, it represents through indirect election with the special interest like teachers, graduates and local government, that is the state legislature. So here we have two houses, unicameral and bicameral. In Tamil Nadu we have unicameral, that is we have only legislative assembly, but in states like Bihar, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, we have we have bicameral legislatures. Bicameral, there are two assemblies, legislative assembly and legislative council. Now we'll talk about legislative assembly, that is the lower house of state. Legislative assembly is a popular house. It is the real center of power in the state. It consists of members directly elected by the people on the basis of adult franchise, that is through general election, that is adult franchise. Those who attain the age of 18 will get the right to vote and they will elect the members to the assembly. So through direct election we are selecting the members and we are sending them to the legislative assembly. The strength of the assembly varies from state to state depending on the population. According to the population of particular state, the assembly strength may vary. That is, maximum number is 500 members and minimum is 60 members according to the size of population. The term of office of the Legislative Assembly is 5 years. The term, you know it, for all political setup, the term of office is 5 years. That is the Legislative Assembly. Here we are electing through direct election on the basis of universal adult franchise. Maximum number is 500 and minimum is 60. The term of office is 5 years. Then regarding the composition of the assembly, here they are giving about our Tamil Nadu. The Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu consists of 235 members, out of which 234 members are directly elected by the people from the constituencies in Tamil Togudi on the basis of adult franchise, and one member is nominated by the governor from the Anglo-Indian community. So totally we have 235. Under that, 234 are directly elected. One is nominated by the governor from Anglo-Indian community. That is the composition of Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly. The next one is cabinet and cabinet committees. A smaller body called cabinet is the nucleus of the Council of Ministers. It consists of only the cabinet ministers. It is the real center of authority in the state government. That is, all the Council of Ministers are known as cabinet members. That is, they are called as a smaller body are called as cabinet. They are nucleus of the council and they are considered as the real center of authority. The cabinet works through various committees called cabinet committees. There are two types of committees, standing and ad hoc. Standing and ad hoc. That is, the former are the permanent. Standing means a permanent nature, while the later, that is ad hoc, is known as temporary. The cabinet ministers, they'll meet cabinet committees, and that committee consists of two types of members, that is standing committee, that is permanent members, and temporary members, and that committee will decide about the functioning of the programs for the welfare of the people. Then the last one is about the speaker. Regarding the Speaker, the Legislative Assembly elects two of its members as the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. That is, after the election is over, the majority parties, they'll select one as a Chief Minister and then they'll select one as a Speaker in the Assembly and another one as a Deputy Speaker for the Assembly. Here, the Speaker may be removed from the office by resolution of the Assembly after giving a 14-day notice. After giving a notice before 14 days, he can remove from the office. But as long as he can continue as a speaker until the first sitting of the new assembly. When the place is vacant, the deputy speaker performs his function. That is the role of speaker in the assembly. In today's class, we discussed about the state government under executive wing. We talked about chief minister and council of ministers. Here, chief minister is appointed by the governor, and here the term of office is 5 years. Chief minister is considered as a head of the government, and he want to perform his function relating to Council of Ministers relating to the governor, relating to state legislatures. Then we talk about Council of Ministers. They are collectively responsible to the state legislature and they have certain powers and functions to the welfare of the people as well as for the state. And we talk about the state legislature. It consists of two houses, unicameral and bicameral. And we talked about legislative assembly, that is the lower house of the assembly, and here the members are elected directly from the people through universal adult franchise. Here that also the term of office is 5 years. In Tamil Nadu Assembly, totally we have 235 members for the Legislative Assembly. 234 are directly elected and one is through nominated by the governor from Anglo-Indian community. And then we talk about cabinet committees, that is cabinet works through various committees called cabinet committees. They'll perform functions on the basis of two types, that is standing committee and ad hoc. Standing means permanent committee and ad hoc is a temporary in nature. Then after that we talk about speaker. Speaker is a legislative. We'll want to elect one as a speaker and deputy speaker and they preside over the assembly. That is about the chief minister and council of ministers under our executive. In the next class, we'll talk about legislative council, that is upper house, and functions of state legislature and judiciary of the state. I think you are following the videos properly. Actually, now listen me. Already we enter into the second term. So side by side, you revise your portions properly and prepare yourself for the public exam. Anyway, the government must conduct exams for this year. So you prepare well. Those who didn't get the books, please try to get your books as quickly as possible. Thank you, ma.